And it is time. I'm not changing jerseys. It's not happening. I've worn too many jerseys tonight already. It's not happening. So I'm sorry, but that's just how it is. So we're back into 5-minute hockey stories. I explained last week why I'm doing this. This one's the Masked Man. So again, these are true stories meant to be told in 5 minutes. Did you know there was a time when NHL players didn't wear helmets and when goalies didn't wear masks? It's true, and yet they all wore cups.
Yes. Have you seen the funny meme on that?
It was pretty dangerous to battle the best players on the ice with nothing on your head to protect you from a flying elbow or a high stick, but imagine what it was like for a goaltender. There you'd be standing in the net with players hitting rock-hard rubber pucks at you, while you had nothing on your head or over your face if the puck came in high or took a bounce. You wouldn't have had huge shoulder pads to protect you either. Well, that's exactly the way it used to be for goalies a couple generations ago. And boy, did those goalies get banged up. But a goalie by the name of Jacques Plante finally got fed up with all that. So there's the pictures. You see, by the time Plante had already been playing professional hockey for about 10 years, he'd already broken many bones. His nose 4 times, cheekbone twice, the right one, then the left, and he'd even fractured his skull. Jacques wanted to find some way to protect his face. The problem was the flimsy leather and plastic masks goalies had tried before didn't do much good. Then a guy who worked at a fiberglass company saw Jacques get hit in the forehead with a puck during a game. He offered to make Jacques a mask that might really help. There you go. The finished mask was a little creepy looking. It was a hard, solid shell that was shaped like Jacques' face, except for small eye holes and a hole for his mouth. But Jacques loved the new mask. He started to wear it at every practice. The problem was that his coach didn't like it at all. He thought hockey players did their best when they knew they might get hurt. He thought it toughened them up and made them play harder. He thought the mask made Jacques look weak and afraid. The coach told Jacques he couldn't ever wear the mask in the real games. Jacques was frustrated, but he did as the coach said. Then one night, during a game, one of the players on the other team took a hard shot at the net. It hit Jacques right in the face. It cut his face and broke his nose and one of his cheekbones. Jacques skated off the ice and went to the dressing room so a doctor would look at him. In the locker room, the doctor set Jacques' nose and sewed up his cut with 7 stitches. Then the coach came over. He expected Jacques to get back out on the ice so the game could start again. But Jacques had had enough. In those days, pro teams didn't have backup goalies. When a goalie left the ice, the game stopped, and everyone had to wait for him to return. No, said Jacques. Then he told his coach he wouldn't go back out unless he could wear his mask. His coach was upset. The minutes were ticking by. The players and fans were waiting for the game to start again. Okay, the coach finally said. You can wear the mask, but only until your cut heals up. After that, the coach said, Jacques would have to play without the mask again. Can you imagine that now? With unions, multi-million-dollar players, and all the money they make off endorsements. Hey, you're going to get hit in the face with the puck. No, I'm not. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you're going to like it too. Jacques skated back onto the ice in his mask. The other players and the fans were shocked. They thought Jacques looked weird. They thought he looked wimpy. But then something amazing happened. Jacques played so well that the Canadiens won the game. And the next, and the next. Jacques and his team went on to win 11 games in a row, making their winning streak 18 games long. By then, Jacques' cut had healed. Lots of people were teasing Jacques about wearing the mask. He didn't care. He wanted to keep wearing it. But he made a deal with his coach in the next game. Jacques played without the mask, and the Canadiens lost. The coach wanted to win, the team wanted to win, the fans wanted to win. So the coach let Jacques put the mask back on for the next game. The team started to win again that season. The Canadiens skated away with the Stanley Cup. Although it took a while for goalies, players, and fans to accept the idea of the mask, within about 10 years, almost all goalies were wearing some version of a face mask. Today, all players wear helmets, and goalies wear helmets and masks that are often painted and designed to look both cool and fierce. And we all have a goalie named Jacques to thank for that. And it's true. It's a true story. Jacques Plante, his numbers, it's funny too. There's a stat in one of my books that talks about hockey masks where they say that Jacques Plante's stats dropped substantially after he got the mask. I guess we can forget he'd already been in the league 10 years, so I'm not going to blame the dropping stats on the mask as much as he was getting older. So there are numerous goalies that you'll look at and you'll say, oh, their stats were worse when they got a mask. But again, that was when they were older. It's not like there were young guys who played with masks and then gave them up at 5 years later. So unless you can show me a young goalie that had bad stats with a mask, that took the mask off when he was older and started playing better, yeah, I don't pay attention to that. And it's weird because we really couldn't picture it now, right? A goalie playing without a mask, that'll never happen. A coach telling a goalie he has to play without a mask, telling any player that he can't wear a piece of safety equipment because he thinks he's tougher without it. We've seen how much trouble they've had getting pads made smaller for NHL goalies. And remember, the last time they made them smaller, Marty Berter said, thanks, now I'm faster and I'm able to cover more of the net. So making pads smaller doesn't necessarily make the goals go up. Just like wearing a mask didn't make the goals go up either. You guys can let me know what you think. But for tonight, good night to all. Here's the fire, courtesy of my lovely wife, who works tirelessly on this to make it as lifelike as possible. It is a fantastic, beautiful work of art. Someday it will hang in the Louvre.
Oh, no, it's the wrong era.
Right in front of the Mona Lisa. The Mona Lisa will be behind the fire.
Oh, Shannon.
Because it's that impressive. It looks that real.
Have modern art in the
It looks that real. This is better art than the crap we saw at the Vancouver Museum.
That was ridiculous.
Okay.
But the Louvre is artwork that was painted in, like, from the beginning of art.
Well, we'll tell them this is from the 1400s. That we'll just put, like, Van Gogh at the bottom of it. We'll put Van Gogh. Van Gogh was poor.
And?
So he puts...
cardboard?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
You dissing cardboard now? You're too good for cardboard?
He wouldn't have had cardboard. He painted on canvas.
Which is just really thick cardboard.
No, Shannon.
It is.
No, it's fabric.
That's okay. Well, so this is fabric. It's cardboard fabric.
No. Shannon.
It is.
Stop it.
And now you know.
Oh, Shannon.
All up here in the brain. I don't need anybody to tell me any of these things either, because I just know. So thanks for watching. Remember to wear your helmet when you're on the ice, and to wear a mask when you're a goalie. Because men sometimes forgot. And I'm not sure why that is. But we're smarter now. I'll talk to you again soon.